This year we're going to be growing several different bicolor zinnias, so I thought I'd just take this chance to show you what we're going to be growing, and then talk about zinnias and some of the butterflies they draw in and some of the pollinators. But one of the varieties we're going to be growing is the carousel, then another one called Macarena or Macarenia, and then Mazurkia. Then I have some seeds I saved from some cactus flowering zinnias, and then this envelope here, the year before my mom died, she gave me some zinnia seeds, and I've been keeping them going since then, and these are some of her seeds. I'll show you a picture of my mom real quick and her zinnias. If you'll notice off to the right side of the picture are some of my dad's tomato plants. But you get an idea of what her zinnias look like. As you can see from the picture, she really liked to plant a lot of them. The thing I like about zinnias is they kind of, once they've been in bloom for a while, it's kind of like they form their own little mini ecosystem. You have the butterflies, and you've got the different species of bees, and then spiders move in to feed on the small bees, and hoverflies and small butterflies. And for anybody that loves nature, it's kind of cool just to watch them. One of my favorite butterflies that come in is the tiger swallowtail. That's the big yellow and black ones. I'll show you a couple of pictures of those. The tiger swallowtails, we don't see those very often, and it could be because we don't have any of their host plants nearby. One that I'm sure of that they use as a host plant is the willow, and then I think they also use aspen and a couple of other trees, but you might Google that if you're interested. And probably my second favorite butterfly that they draw in is the black swallowtail. I was looking her deal over, and it looks like we've got some caterpillars from the black swallowtail butterfly. There's a big one. And as far as host plants for black swallowtails, dill and carrots and parsley and fennel are some of the host plants they use. In our garden we had carrots and we had dill, and they seem to prefer dill over carrots because I never noticed any of the caterpillars on the carrots, but they did produce quite a few caterpillars on the dill. I used the carrots to transplant some of the caterpillars from the dill so they wouldn't completely eat up my dill. And they survived just fine and grew up on the carrot, so that's something to keep in mind. If they kind of are being hard on your dill, you can move some to carrots if you have some of those available. Another butterfly that comes to the zinnias is the monarch. As far as host plants for the monarch butterfly, they'll use several different species of milkweed, and they'll even use common milkweed. We planted some common milkweed just for the monarchs to use, and I planted those with the help of my grandson in the fall of 2015, and their first year of growth was last year, and they should be maturing and blooming this year, and hopefully the monarchs will start using them this year. One thing that I kind of almost forgot about was the hummingbird moth. If you've never seen a hummingbird moth, they do look almost like a hummingbird in the way that they fly. Sometimes we'll have several of those at one time come in to the zinnias, and they're kind of entertaining to watch. Then there are several species of fritillary butterflies. I've seen the great spangled and the Gulf fritillaries, and they're kind of like a brownish orange color. They're kind of pretty butterflies. As a host plant, the Gulf fritillary butterflies use passion fruit. They'll use several different species of it. I can't recall them all, so I'm not even going to try to list them. And the great spangled fritillary like native violets, and we have, unfortunately, we have those. They're pretty much a weed around here, so that's probably why we're seeing some of those. And then another butterfly that we see a lot of around here are the painted lady butterflies. The painted lady butterflies, I've actually seen some of their caterpillars on zinnias eating them, and I've seen them on sunflowers. And then one year we had a real bad problem with them on our black-eyed Susan. They really seem to like black-eyed Susans, and if you get a dozen of them or so on the same flower or plant, they can decimate it in no time. So you might keep an eye on that. I came out this evening to do a little mowing, and I noticed something was eating my black-eyed Susans. These leaves are just not much left of them. And I look further down on the plant, and as you can see, it's crawling with little black caterpillars. I've run into these little things before, and I know what they are. They're caterpillars from the painted lady butterfly. My least favorite butterfly out of all the butterflies is probably the cabbage white butterfly. And you vegetable gardeners out there will know that the host plants for those include various the brassicas. They'll eat broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cabbages. I get them on kale. But if you're a vegetable gardener and you like to grow greens, you'll probably run into them eventually. Then we occasionally see the buckeye butterfly. We don't see too many of those, but every once in a while. They have a wide variety of plants that they use for host plants, so if you're interested in that, you can Google it. I don't want to try to research all of them. And as well as the butterflies, hoverflies also come in, along with the tiny bees, the different species of bees. Hoverflies, they're kind of good to have around because their larvae will eat aphids, so it's good to have hoverflies around.